What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Chino Umbrella crossover event. It's another it's another one of these small crossover events where we have multiple podcasts coming at you with myself, Travis from the Folding List, and we got Mr. Mumbles. What's going on, man?
I'm good, Trav, man. Ready to do this.
Nice, man. Yeah, this movie's got me hyped. Like I was,
Same.
I've been hyped ever since I walked out the theater, and I've been trying to like. I'm usually not like this with DC movies. I really don't feel this way. Hardly. It's been a long time since I've felt this way. You know, about a big hero, because I liked Shazam and I liked the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. The second one.
Whatever that one is.
Yeah.
I like that, the second Suicide Squad. But other than that, I haven't liked a DC movie since what is it? The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I can't think of another one I've really truly enjoyed.
Shit, I can't even really think of one either. Because like besides the Dark Knight series and oh my gosh, the way that Batman versus Superman went.
You got the Dark Knight Rises, which I wasn't a fan of, I guess famously. You got you got Man of Steel, which was okay the first time I watched it, and the action is awesome, but basically everything else doesn't really make sense in my opinion.
Yeah, because it kind of like I felt like that one kind of got like the storyline got a bit scattered.
Yep,
in a way. Because like it was the visuals were dope. The way that they did like a new age version of showing off his powers was really dope. But then at the same time, it was like, okay, like now it's getting scattered all over the place. Hey, we're doing this now with Doomsday. We're doing this, like, prepping for Doomsday in an idea in a sense. And then now we're doing Zod, and Zod is saying this. It
was too like It was just a little too much going on with that one. They went a little too hard when they didn't really have to. Especially like, of course, infamously the city destruction. They killed so many people.
So many fucking people.
Like so many buildings were destroyed. So many people killed. There was no warning. All those people were killed. And then they had Batman v Superman, which. I don't know too many people that were like, I don't know, that was pretty great. Like I don't know too many people that say that.
Like honestly, the only thing I liked about it was the portrayal of having an older Batman in a sense.
Yes,
like
Batfleck's dope.
Love Batflex.
Yeah,
but like the whole idea of like the way that they turned the villainy around. And switching it to Doomsday, and then like switching it back to Lex Luthor, and then all of a sudden
Martha.
Why did you say that name? I was like,
did we just become best friends?
Best friends, exactly. I'm like, bro, you know your mom's not the only woman named Martha on this planet, right?
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. Y'all have like beating the shit out of each other for so long, and that's the thing that shakes you out of it. I don't know. I feel like and once again, that's one of those things where it's like we'll just have them be mad at each other. But in the comic book, it was like the whole red kryptonite thing was a big part of that storyline.
It was.
It felt like a very cheap way of telling a very cool story. But all of that being said, I feel like Blackadam was able to like really kind of get the ball rolling in the way that I've always wanted, which is it kind of followed suit with the animated movies.
Exactly.
Because all of those animated movies are dope, man. Like it's hard to say when it's hard to pick one where you're like, that was dumb. Well, there are a few. There's so many.
Few. Yeah.
There's a ton, but there's a lot of good ones too, which is impressive for like animated movies, man. Like and you know, straight to DVD and stuff. Yeah.
because they really held the rank as far as it goes in comparison to what Marvel was doing on the animated side with their movies. And
Yeah.
then like they just turned around and they basically stopped altogether.
Yeah.
Like I don't even recall the last like Marvel animated movie. Like it's been years.
Yeah, like What If
Yeah,
was the first one that,
in a long time.
and
Yeah.
that's like a cinematic television show. So that's the only reason why oh man, like you said, animated movies that are
Yeah.
kind of like that are truly worth it. Well, I think there was
Mhm.
that Wolverine one, wasn't that one?
Yeah, but that was like years ago though. That
Yeah,
was like
that's true.
yeah.
That's true. The
Damn,
Wolverine Hulk one, the
yeah,
Planet
Hulk
Hulk
versus
one,
Hulk. Yeah.
because they were trying to do it, but I feel like it
Mhm.
almost feels like they were either scared to go up against DC when it came to animated movies,
Mhm.
or they were like, let's just focus on the actual movies. But
Yeah.
because I don't know, like, an audience, if you haven't watched the DC animated movies, definitely throw one on. Like, there
Exactly.
are a ton of good ones, especially the Batman focused ones.
Yeah.
Some of the Superman ones are cool, but all of the
Yep.
Flashpoint ones are dope.
Yep.
So they're all definitely worth watching because it's kind of it's a it's a much more comic accurate version, like visual version, like on screen
Exactly.
version of what you want to see. And
Yeah.
it feels like the director of this, I forgot who directed this, I'll bring it up in a second. But it feels like whoever directed this understood why
Mhm.
those animated movies were entertaining, but also like how to make a good movie. So he just
Yeah.
put those two together, and it's a solid movie. I cannot complain. I couldn't complain. I tried and I couldn't.
Exactly. No, I couldn't either. And then for me, like, it was kind of crazy because at first, when it started out, it was a bit slow, and I kind of expected that to be the case. So, like, so at
The
like
first
honestly,
15 minutes were not fun for me.
yeah, it
I was
wasn't
very nervous. I was like, "Uh-oh. This is going to be a very long, corny ride that makes no sense."
exactly none at all.
Cuz I'm telling the first 15 minutes I was tight. Like, "Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Real nervous."
exactly. It
This
was
could
like
be
you
real
had us in
bad.
the first half.
Uh-oh. Oh man, because it audience, just like a lot of introductory hero comic book movies, they
Yeah,
kind of have to explain who Black Adam is.
Adam
They
is.
somewhat
Yeah,
explain this backstory that we can jump into this crazy over the top story,
yep.
with made up countries, with 5,000-year-old histories, and all of this kind of stuff. So they really do have to lay all of that out and lay out the characters. But once The
Mhm.
Rock shows up as Black Adam, it it takes off, in my
It
opinion.
really does. It truly did. Because like honestly, I kind of went into it based off of the first 15 minutes and I was like, damn, I was like, you guys are really running at a pace of two brews right now.
Woof,
you know,
woof,
and
very
as
quickly.
yeah, very quickly until the Black Adam shows up. And then I was like, okay, all right, three brews, you guys approaching three brews. And then when they started getting into him fighting and doing
Woof.
what he does, I was
Wow.
like, holy shit.
Man. And an audience,
Yeah,
I don't want there I don't want to give too much away. This is a spoiler free episode. We're trying to keep it as spoiler free
yeah,
as possible, but I will tell you that that first fight scene gives you a feeling of like what this movie's going to be about, because once he
exactly.
kind of, like you said, starts doing his thing, like once you said that, like once he started doing his thing, like it really you're like, oh, I get what kind of movie this is. Got it, got it,
Yeah,
got it, got it. Let's go. All right, let's get it.
exactly.
And
And it,
then,
it went left real quick for those guys.
wow.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it's let me see if I can find the actual synopsis so I can tell you what this movie's about without actually giving anything away, because I don't want to give anything away that's not public knowledge already.
Yeah, because
Um,
the premise on Wikipedia was pretty good. It was like pretty short and sweet, but it doesn't give it away. Yeah, I made sure that we tried to find something where it's like we don't give it away to you guys, because we really want you guys to enjoy this experience of the Black Adam, because The Rock definitely really put in the work. Like, him and his team really put in the work for this film. And honestly, like, I feel like this could be the tipping point for DC if they keep
wow.
the momentum going. If they keep the momentum going. Like,
They
yeah,
could be grown up but fun at the same time, because
exactly.
the plot of this movie, it has made up lore, in the sense that it's not like the real world, just like it's not Metropolis and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
But that gives it kind of this, it gives them this freedom to kind of just like make a interesting plot that's, you can that I can see why The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, actually connected with it.
Hmm.
But yeah, the let me see if I can get this synopsis off with all of these crazy names. So
Yeah.
in ancient Kandak, Teth Adam, or Black Adam, was bestowed the almighty power of the gods. After using these powers for vengeance, he was imprisoned, becoming Black Adam. Nearly 5,000 years have passed, and Black Adam has gone from man to myth to legend. Now free, his unique form of justice, born out of rage, is challenged by modern day heroes who formed the Justice Society: Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Atom Smasher, and Cyclone.
Hmm.
Oof. So that basically covers like what this movie's about. So like
Yeah.
he gets his powers. He goes ham on everybody because they all of the villains at the time were kind of going ham on everybody else. So he destroys them.
Exactly. Like,
Uh, uh, he's locked away to be,
mhm.
I guess, used whenever the next big bad shows up.
Yep.
And at this point, he, I guess, wreaks havoc on all the
Yeah.
bad dudes in the area. Uh,
Exactly. Because like
and,
so
whoa,
but
man,
like the thing about Black Adam is that he's not a hero and he's not a villain. He's an
no,
anti-hero, and he's all about, like, gosh, oh, sometimes I could barely pronounce the name of the country, but he's all about
Kandak.
this ancient city of Kandak. So his thing is that, like, don't encroach on our lines, and if you come in with any kind of force, you will be decimated and dealt with. Like, basically the same way that Wonder Woman deals with her villains as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
straight up, man, straight up.
you know, which
But
is, yeah. Go
and
ahead.
I feel like this is the first time that we actually get to see what it would look like if someone with superpowers was like, I don't care
Yeah.
about you. And he's just so casual about how powerful he is, because
Yeah,
like they lock him away because he is that powerful. Like he
exactly.
just couldn't, he couldn't roam around, so they were like, just like, let's just keep this dude away
Yeah.
until we need him, until the country of Kandak needs him.
Yeah.
And at this point in time, they actually need him, so he comes back. But the way he's kicking ass, the Justice Society was like, we can't have you just out here like murking people, like
Murking people, exactly.
just like, as okay, this is a very early moment. I think this is this is the one that I kind of previewed to my homeboys. But
Yeah.
he grabs a person, someone shoots a rocket at him. He grabs a person, throws them at the rocket, and then looks down and realizes that he didn't let go of the person's arm, and then
Yeah.
drops the arm on the ground. And just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's like when he first shows up. So it
Exactly.
gets pretty wild. I wasn't expecting this kind of DC movie to where
Yeah.
it was violent but not
Hmm.
over the top violent.
Exactly. Like the
Um
boys.
yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
like the boys, like nowhere
Yeah.
close to the
Yeah.
boys. Uh nowhere close to the boys, but uh it was enough for there to be like some shock and some awe, but also I I think this is the first truly PG-13 movie that they've made in a hot minute. You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of comic book movies feel either like PG almost. Like I know
Hmm.
they're killing robots and aliens and stuff, which
Yeah.
that's what makes it PG-13, but like not really. It doesn't really feel like it. This felt like,
Hmm.
oh, this is like a movie that my pops would take me to go see when I was a kid, and I would be like, "Oh, we get to watch this kind of action
This
movie? All right,
exactly.
cool." Like, yeah, this is great. Thanks. Like, because
Exactly.
you'd go into it thinking it's a regular action movie. It's not. It's got
It's
some cool stuff
not.
in here, man.
It
Some really cool
does.
moments.
And then
Um,
I love like the way that they were explaining the rise of Kandak as well, as far
yeah,
as coming up to like the dictator king as well,
yep,
and like how it all tied together into it leading to him having those powers too, because it was again, it's kind of, I guess, similar to Wakanda in a sense with
yeah,
their with the natural resources that they have in Kandak. And a lot of times, that's like a lot of times that's the premise for a lot of violence when countries are being pillaged. And I like the way that it tied that into the story as well.
yeah,
I
yeah,
thought that was really interesting, especially being that where Kandak is located, because Kandak is an ancient city that's kind of located where, what was it, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Iran
yeah.
is. It's
Somewhere in
like
the
that
Middle
small
East. Yeah,
somewhere, yeah, somewhere in the Middle East. And it was like really like it was really, I would say, tasteful the way that they did
yeah,
the storyline in regards to that effect.
yeah. They were able
Yeah.
to like man, there's so many moments that I kind of want to touch on, but
Yeah.
I won't because they really are deep and kind of like you said, they did it in a tasteful way. They handled
Yeah.
these topics in a very tasteful way, and I enjoyed it. And like just kind
Mhm.
of, I think the overall tone of the movie, like I think one thing that stood out to me. This is a very small detail that I just enjoyed throughout a lot of the movie.
Mhm.
You rarely see his feet on the ground, and
Yeah.
like I thought that was so dope because he it feels like I said, he's so powerful that they had to keep him away. So
Mhm.
now that he's out, he's like there he has no concept of normal strength, of walking, like talking normally,
Yeah.
of like handling situations normally. He's like he floats in a way where it's like almost like a god looking down at
Yeah.
all times, like in basic conversation in small little rooms, dude's just like floating
He's
everywhere.
floating
It's
up, exactly, yeah.
it's
'Cause
it's almost unnerving. Yeah,
it is, and then you also, like, think back to how, Superman is portrayed, because,
yeah,
like, everyone sees him as a god on earth as well, but he walks.
yep,
He'll
very
stand
much.
on
Yep,
his feet, very much so. But,
yep,
like, the way that it was, like you just pointed out, like, I really recalled it, like, he never really put his feet on the ground at all throughout
yeah.
the whole movie.
And when he does, it's like, oh, there's something going on because
Yeah.
when he's in his in his god mode, when he's in that mode,
Mhm.
he is not touching the ground,
At all.
and when he is, it means something. And those are the little things. Like, okay, audience, if you're still listening and you haven't like turned this off and gone running to the theater,
Exactly.
I will say this movie is not perfect.
It's not.
It's nowhere near perfect.
Yeah.
But if you go into this movie feeling like, you know what, I'm just here to have a good time. Watch The Rock be the superhuman that he is.
Yeah,
This will be a good time.
exactly.
And it reminded me of The Rundown. Do you remember like going to see The
Oh,
Rundown in the theater and like being like,
yeah,
"Oh, it's The Rock hitting people with giant sticks and like
yeah,
flipping cars."
exactly. Yeah,
That's what this movie gave me. It gave me those feelings, man. Like it felt like that kind of movie where it's just like, oh, The Rock is just being The Rock, and it's like a solid
exactly.
movie. It's not dumb. Like there's cool moments,
Yeah,
uh, decently directed. Pierce Brosnan crushing it.
he crushed
Um,
it. Yeah,
man,
and then
what's the other dude? Black dude's
Aldous
name?
Hodge. Yeah,
Aldous
like
Hodge, man.
I really enjoy Aldous Hodge's portrayal of Hawkman too, because
Yeah,
like that's the first time that you ever seen Hawkman in live action on screen, especially even Doctor Fate too, and
yeah.
Atom Smasher.
Oof.
But yeah,
Doctor
but
Fate, man.
Doctor Fate, oh my gosh, the costume design down to the helmet,
All right,
like
I
the
was about to
man.
say it. That might be my favorite on-screen costume ever. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think there's anyone else that I've seen on screen where I was like, that shit looks real.
and
Like
that's what I'm saying.
it
Yeah,
looks so good. That might be my favorite on-screen costume. It's the helmet.
yeah.
There's like so many like I don't know, man. I don't want to start getting into the design of that. That's a whole other
It
topic. This movie's great. This movie's
It
great.
is great. It is
It
because
it's
go ahead, go ahead.
I was just saying it's definitely worth a watch because
Yeah.
there are moments in this where I kept being like, oh, oh,
Yeah.
oh, wow, oh, like
Yep.
if I'm watching the movie doing that the whole time, it's a good movie, man. Like you've got me.
Yeah.
Like even the Fast and the Furious, I know those movies are over the top, crazy
Mhm.
action, but it's almost so over the top in moments that it makes it unrealistic. I f-
Exactly.
I feel like this was a great example of what if someone had these powers, had a
Mhm.
god complex, but was somewhat on the side of good.
Yeah.
It's a very scary concept. Like, yeah, that's cool, but if he's dealing out justice, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be
It's
rough for
gonna
those
be
people.
rough. It definitely was, you know. But I mean, they did a really like they were really on point with that
Yeah,
costume design. Even
man.
from like Black Adam, Hawkman. Well, Hawkman was redesigned because it's
Okay,
typically more gold in his costume as well.
okay.
But like the Doctor Fate one, hands down, was my favorite. That and Adam Smasher, they were probably
Yeah,
my favorite ones because they were definitely like comic tier, yeah,
yeah,
like
man. Yeah,
quality,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I really, because me and my homeboy talk about it. Like sometimes, man, sometimes cosplayers are like better than the movies. I've seen cosplayers
yeah.
do stuff, and I'm like, all right, like that looks better than what I've seen on screen before. And it may not react
Hmm.
the same, may not be comfortable like the movie ones are, I'm sure, but
Hmm.
it looks real. These
Yeah,
looked like natural costumes, but unrealistic. They did a
yeah.
very good job blurring the line, man. Blurring the line between realism and absurdity.
Absurdity, exactly. Yeah,
Hawkman with these big giant mechanical wings that act like real bird
exactly.
wings.
Yeah,
The
and it was
it
gold.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like
I was
gold.
impressed, man.
Yeah,
Impressed. Like shining in the light and stuff. Like I
yeah.
forgot who he hit, but at one point someone was looking at him, was like, is that a bird? And then it like glinted gold and was like, oh shit. Bing! And
Yeah.
he
Oh
hit
yeah,
him super hard.
he
Oh
did. It
man.
was Black Adam. He hit Black
Yeah, oh
Adam.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah,
It,
they're fighting. They
yeah,
were fighting
but
the
that
whole fucking movie.
yeah, they were. But the thing is, I was like, man, I felt kind of bad for Aldous Hodge's character because he was pretty much getting his ass
Yeah.
beat
Yeah.
left and right.
But that was because
It,
they're out of their depth, man.
they were
Out
out
of
of
their
their
depth.
depth. Yeah,
Even
they
even at
really
their
were.
level, they were like, this is not I don't know if this is
Mhm.
we might need to we might need to talk.
Yeah, exactly.
All
Oh
right.
my gosh.
But yeah.
Yeah,
Before we reveal too many details, let's go ahead and call it, man. It was
yeah.
cool going to see that with you, and it was cool talking about it, man. I enjoyed that
It
movie for
definitely
sure.
was, man.
Yeah, it's a
So,
good one.
but so far, how many brews do you think you give it, though, Travis?
Out of how many? Five?
Yeah, out of five.
I told my boys 3.5.
Yeah,
But I give solid movies 3.5, man. That's a good
yeah.
score on the Travis scale. On the Travis scale, it's a good score. If you're hitting fours, you're up there. You're like that's like
Exactly.
Top Gun to that's
Yeah,
there's not too many things that give 4.5, 5 for me. Those are perfect
yeah.
movies. My scale's
It's
a little
hard to
too
get
tough.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, but I say for four. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'll go ahead and just round it up to 4, just because this was a a fun movie to see in the theater. I'll say
It
that.
was.
I
It
I
was.
missed Top Gun in the theater.
Hmm.
I got to see this one in the theater thanks to the Chino umbrella. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But got to see this one in the theater, and it's worth it. I don't know. It might be worth the
It
ticket.
definitely is.
It's a fun time for
Yeah.
sure, especially if you like DC.
That is true because I do enjoy DC, especially like their portrayals in animes and things like that. I pretty much
Yeah.
watch everything except for Batman versus the Ninja Turtles, which is what I'm going to be watching this week anyway. Yeah,
Oh, true. I heard it was
yeah,
solid. So like, but I
yeah.
wouldn't take it seriously. I think it's
Oh
supposed to be
no,
fun. Yeah.
it is.
So
It is.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's exactly what I got from Black Adam was that you just go into it and you're just like, you know what? I'm just gonna enjoy the ride because
yeah.
because for me the first portrayal was in the anime against Shazam and Superman, and then that's
Uh,
when Superman finally learned that he was weak against magic, and that's when he first
oh,
fought Black Adam. And then also in the anime, like one of my favorite movies was Undisputed 2 with Scott Adkins. And then
hmm.
Black Adam actually did the combo from the movie
Oh
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
anime. Yeah.
I've seen that scene. I need to watch those movies. I never watched the Black Adam movies. I gotta watch them, man, because
Yeah.
he might be a new favorite.
He is, man.
This is a cool character. This, like I said, man, this movie reminded me of going to see like a fun summer action movie as a kid. That's what this
Exactly.
reminded me of, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I truly
Me
am excited
too.
to see where it goes. And on the last thing,
Mhm.
there is a mid credit scene. Make sure you at least stay for that. It's worth it.
Yeah, it's definitely
Um,
worth it.
as a Marvel fan, I will say this mid credit scene is worth it. So
It's definitely
that's
worth
saying
it.
something.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
and that's what bumped it up to a 4 Bruce for me too.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
man. You
yeah, yeah.
didn't bounce it back to you. My bad. But yeah,
Oh no, no,
for
no, you
Bruce,
good.
yeah,
Yeah, that I'm definitely in the same boat with you. Like as far as like especially a superhero film. Like
yeah.
I think that's the highest that I've ever rated a superhero film
Oh wow.
was 4 Bruce. You know,
Yeah. It's hard
yeah,
to get past that. Like
it
in
is.
my opinion, on my scale,
Hmm.
because it's kind of weighted. But I gave
Yeah,
like what is it? No Way Home a like
yeah,
4.5, 4. It's like four and a half,
yep.
4. But 4.5, I still wouldn't give that perfect. Like it's not perfect.
Nah,
But this is kind of far from perfect. But thoroughly enjoyable, dope
thoroughly
movie.
enjoyable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's certified. It's certified seal of approval. Enjoyed this movie. I will be throwing this on as I'm folding laundry.
yes. And I will be seeing this again because I got to see this in either IMAX or Dolby.
Man,
I think
oh
I got to
man,
experience it in Dolby and IMAX. Yeah,
it would be cool. It would be cool. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But
yeah.
all right, man. Yeah, good talking to you about
Good
talking
talking
about
to you
this
too,
movie, man.
Trav.
I appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
man. It was a
yeah.
fun
Always a good
time.
time.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, oh yeah.
always.
Real just a real quick thing too. We did meet The Rock's cousin and all
Oh
the
yeah.
stars out there, and then I realized that I am far smaller than than the Rock's cousin, which I was led to believe.
Yeah, man. That's that's really funny that you thought you were close.
Yeah,
Because
I
I think
had
The
to
Rock's
gauge it.
cousin is close to The Rock.
Exactly.
And you're not close to The Rock's cousin. These some
No,
big
that's a
dudes, dog.
big dude, man. A big
Yeah.
Samoan man. Yeah.
Yeah. When it's
But I
like,
do got him in height. I do got him in height.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, he was not that tall, but I'm pretty sure The Rock is like
Yeah.
six. What is he? 6'5" or something?
5 or
6'6".
something. Yeah.
Yep. He's a tall dude and he's
Tall dude.
giant.
And he's a
So
giant, man.
and I think he benches a car. So
Yeah,
it's
something like that. Like as
something
a
like
warm-up or
that.
something.
Yeah. Wow. So this movie had a $250 million budget. So I hope I'm ready for the next one. We'll see if they can knock it out of the park with 350.
Yeah, definitely so.
maybe they'll get 4 brews when they spend 350.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And not as many reshoots too.
Yeah. Oof. I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
It'll eat up
Doctor
that
Strange 2
budget.
is proof of that.
Yes, definitely
Yikes.
so.
But all right, man. Yeah, I'll catch you next time.
Catch you next time, man. Woo, 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 woo.
Peace.
Peace.
Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite?